Hey YouTube, Jeremy Wright here, checking on the frog tank, leopard frogs. And you may notice I have begun supplementing their diet with a bit of flake food, and they like it to the point that they're actually like eating it like fishies would. And that's kind of cool. So, yeah, today's May 1st, so I think this is week 9. And rocking along. I don't think I shot a video last week, but it's kind of time to clear some of the frog bit from the top of this tank, isn't it? The other plants are just doing great. Persicaria and some Sorosos. I'm losing the name. My Latin's failing me. I'm actually sick right now, so apologies. But I don't think you'll catch anything across YouTube. I may be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. All the same, I may just sound or say stupid things today, and that's just part of it. And I feel like my brain power is kind of weak. When I was doing some language studies earlier, I was like, never mind, I'm not going to do this right now. So I'm doing language stuff on the internet for everyone to see, and it might not turn out much better. Although, these guys don't seem to be sick. So I'm down to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 8 of these guys, and some of them are getting rather rotund, but their numbers have dwindled. And that was to be expected. I knew we were going to have some level of fatality and just overall mortality. I'm pretty sure it hasn't resorted to outright cannibalism yet. Although I did see a ram's horn snail eating what seemed to be a live pollywog just a few, maybe that was 2 weeks ago. I was shocked by that. Oh, check this out. Scud moving across the front of the glass over here. So this has been a rather interesting tank for a lot of reasons. There's more life going on in here and scuttling around. If we were, you might not be able to see it, but there at my fingertip, there's a little thing swimming. There's just a bunch going on in here, and I normally don't sit and take the time. The scud's kind of moving across the front of this glass again. I normally don't take the time to really sit and look at the other stuff in the tank because I'm checking out the tadpoles and just seeing how the frogs are doing, but this has been interesting. I'm so impressed by how well they can swim without, anything but a tail. They've got a lot of control. Some of them are outright large now. So they're on the order of about 2 centimeters in length now. Rapid growth happening. And that's cool. I don't know if that's because I began feeding them flake food or if it's due to something else. Maybe we can get a zoom here. This is a cool view, in my opinion. Watching them come up and eat flake, or at least attempt to eat flake food. They're not really the most agile creatures, but they still get around pretty well. And it's fun to watch them. Looks to be a ram's horn up there at the top of the screen. And yeah, I'm at the point where they're more entertaining. I think I probably add food to this tank every other day at this moment. Who knows, maybe I'm doing it a little more often than that. Sorry, just had to catch a seat. While we're zoomed, we're at nearly 5 times zoom, so I apologize for the wiggly motion there. but their mouths are changing. They're becoming much more adept at interacting with their environment. Like they seem to be a lot more active. Maybe it's just because there's food in front of them right now, but overall, they're maneuvering around the tank pretty well. They're active, they seem to be curious and inquisitive, more so than they were when they were smaller. It's to be expected, right? But I'm enjoying their behavior. I have to give a shout out. One of my viewers is the one who suggested just give them some flake food. And I thought, nah, tadpoles aren't gonna eat flake food. I was wrong. He was right. So I appreciate those of you who interact and comment and participate in my channel. It makes it a lot more entertaining for me. And really, it makes it better for you guys too. So if you have anything to say, share your thoughts, please. All eyes and ears. There's another little guy swimming around the front of the screen. That's pretty cool. So yeah, lots of stuff happening in here. I totally enjoy that. Totally. Oh, cool, 2 of them. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool when there are a lot of those left in here, and I'll basically have minus a couple of plants, a native Arkansas small 5-gallon tank. There's a 37-gallon tank behind this. It is a native biotope, with the exception of one plant. And I think there are also some Malaysian trumpet snails still in there. I've been picking them out, but they were in the substrate. Both the plant that's not native and the snails were in the substrate, and that was just part of another tank. But otherwise, I have really enjoyed the aquatic ecology native to my area here in Arkansas, within the southeast United States. We've got some really cool aquatic stuff here, and it's all over the place. Like, we just have to basically go outside and pull things out of our yards, or our parents' yards, or our friends and neighbors' yards, and there's enough cool stuff to make a whole aquarium. And many more, and none of them will be the same. Anyway, this is kind of a view of what's going on at about 2.5 months from collecting what I think were leopard frog eggs in my dad's pond. And my son, who's now 9, he was 8 at the time, I mean, gosh, he found like 1,000. I was like, oh no, let's try a handful, not a bucket full. And I'm really glad that we did this. Not only has it given a pretty interesting journey for me and my son, but we were able to share this, and I've learned a tremendous amount from it. And I thought, this is gonna be my son learning. No, I did all the learning on this. He knew that, frog eggs turn into tadpoles and tadpoles turn into frogs. He's not really paying attention to this. I'm the one paying close attention to this. And I am kind of intrigued by their behavior. And watching this morphology occur, it's just really fascinating. And they're obviously not as skilled at getting food as like guppies or normal aquarium fish. They have a much more difficult time, but the tank itself has been really interesting. And I pretty much do nothing to this tank. Once a week I do a water test, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. It builds nitrates a bit more than other tanks. And I think the reason for that, if you look upward here, we have a sweet potato growing from this hang-on back filter directly above, and it's had some vines. There's a vine growing down, and if we look above it, sweet potatoes all the way to the ceiling, right? Some of those vines grew down here and into the tank, and that's these things that you see growing here. Those were sweet potato vines that really the tadpoles were feeding on. But I think during that decay process, it was contributing a lot of nitrogenous waste to the water column. And as they were going through biological processes, it just ended up becoming nitrate waste. So that, it is what it is. And there just really aren't as many, there's not a density of plants in this tank that I would normally have in a planted aquarium. So, whatever, I think we've gone long enough on this update. Thanks for thanks for joining me while I'm sick and can't think very clearly, but I'll give you a view again maybe in a couple of weeks of what's going on here. And if I see anything interesting in the interim, I'll try to catch it on camera. Otherwise, thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys very much. If you would give me a like, subscribe, share, comment, and let's talk about what's going on.